Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations Business Edition webinar for November 9th, 2017. Today, we're going to cover intercompany transactions and consolidated financial reporting. So, how we're going to break that time down, we're going to start off with a quick intro to Dynamics 365 Business Edition. We'll spend most of our time with a live demonstration, and at the end, we'll save a few minutes where we can talk about how to buy Dynamics 365 and the pricing. Now, throughout the course of this webinar, if you want to ask questions, go ahead, and we'll also save some Q&A time at the end. My name is George Delp, and I will be your host, and I am joined by Lisa Cummings. She's going to be our demonstrator. Both Lisa and I have, between us, we've probably got 30, if not 40 years of experience working with various Microsoft Dynamics products. So what is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations Business Edition? And that used to be called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Financials for those of you who might have been looking at this last year. It's a lot of things. First and foremost, it's an accounting system. General ledger, receivables, payables, all that type of stuff. It's also a distribution system. It'll help you with your purchase orders, your inventory, sales orders. And in the spring of 2018, it's going to be a full-blown manufacturing system with bills of material, routings, material requirements, planning, scheduling, all the things you'd expect to see in a manufacturing environment. And now it does have project capabilities. They call it jobs, where you can set up contracts, tasks, charge time and expense to tasks, and do invoicing, scheduling, things like that. And then finally, back to the 2018, there is the service module will be available, and that's more of a case management, like a mini project type of tool. So as you can see, it's Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Edition. It's a full-fledged enterprise resource planning or ERP software package. Now it's a multi-platform package. It's a cloud offering from Microsoft, and it runs on desktops through a browser. Actually, you can see there, we have some other webinars that show this. It can actually run inside of Outlook too, which is pretty neat, pretty handy. Automatically figure out what customer or vendor is emailing you. There's tablet applications, and these aren't just web access through your tablet. These are purpose-built apps that run great and look great and fit the screen properly, and same thing that they have for mobile devices. And they support everything. They support, of course, Windows, but Apple and Android, especially on the tablets and phones, those are supported. So pretty much got you covered. Any device, anywhere, anytime. So we talked to a lot of companies this past year about Microsoft Dynamics 365, and these are three of the things we heard over and over that we can now finally address. People want a cost-effective solution to manage multiple companies. Well, we're going to show you that today. We're going to show you how easy it is to set up and manage multiple companies in Dynamics 365. We also hear that people are struggling to keep their intercompany transactions in balance. Well, we're going to show you how to set up automated intercompany postings. You'll never have that problem again. And finally, way too many people are out there doing consolidated financial statements in Excel. Well, we'll show you how you don't have to do that in Excel anymore. You do it straight in Dynamics 365. Do it straight in the cloud. So with that, we're going to switch over to Lisa, and she's going to do the live demo. I'm going to pause real quick, see if there's any questions, and I don't see any, so I'm going to make Lisa the presenter. Take it away, Lisa.
All right, thank you, George. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Looks good.
All right. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for the Dynamics 365 webinar on intercompany transactions and consolidated financial reporting. What we are going to show you today is going to be how easy it is to create a new company within Dynamics 365, how easy it is to consolidate or add that company to your consolidation company. And I will show you the setup of the intercompany, and I'll show you an intercompany transaction. And then I'm going to jump over to a company that I have sent an intercompany transaction to so that you can see how you view that information in the destination company. Then after we've done that, I'm going to consolidate my transactions at the period end, and we'll take a look at some account schedules, which can also be called financial reports, and we'll drill into the detail of those so that you can see how you can see the information and where which companies it originated from. So if we don't have any questions at this time, we're going to get started. I am currently logged into the Consolidation Company, and I am going to go and create a new company. Oops, hit the wrong little button there. So let's just X out of that. So I want to go to my cogwheel here and my settings. And when I click on the little arrow box, this will give me a list of all my existing companies within the Dynamics 365 database. So I'm going to hit the little Create New Company button, and it gives you a wizard and it walks you through how to create that company. Now when I say it's easy, I mean it's really easy. So we'll give it a name. I'm just going to call this one Kronus South for demonstration purposes. And we have a couple options that we can select here. So there are some sample data companies you could create. So if you're looking to evaluate the software and see if this is a good fit for you, you could select one of those and have data already there so you could play around with it. The Create New would just completely create you a whole new company without any existing data or setup data in it at all. I'm going to go ahead and do a full evaluation just for this demonstration, and I would hit Next. Now at this point, you would want to hit Finish, but I'm going to just close out of here because as you saw, I have several companies already set up and I don't need to add another one just for demonstration purposes. But that is how easy and quick it is to create that database. So I am in the Consolidation Company. So what I'm going to show you is how, once you've got your legal entities created and you need to add them to the Consolidation Company, how easy it is to do that. So
hey Lisa, we had a question come in.
Okay, go ahead, George.
Someone is asking, can you set up security between the companies?
Yes. So if you have someone that does not need access in one company, but they need access in the other, you can certainly grant access by the database.
Okay, awesome. And if you have any more questions on that, just let us know and we'll do our best to answer.
Okay, great. Thank you, George. All right, so I am using my search bar because this just helps me when I learn some keywords within the system and I know different places that I need to go. It's very quick for me to just type in the search bar and be able to find where I need to navigate within the system without having to click a bunch of different places, 4 or 5 times to get there. I can quickly get there just by using my search bar. So I do have 2 companies here. Is there a question?
No.
Okay, so I do have 2 companies here that I've actually created. These are actually business units within the Consolidation Company. I'm going to go ahead and just show you this Kronus US that I have created, so you can just take a look and see basically what you do when you consolidate your companies. So here you see I've given it a code. Code is just a short name or identifier for the company that you're going to use as a business unit to consolidate. Then I've given it a name. I pretty much just always duplicate my name. And then I can click on the little ellipsis box, and from here I can select the company that I'm going to consolidate to my Consolidation Company. Now, if you're using multi-currency, you can go ahead and select a currency code here. My companies happen to be in US dollars, so I don't need multi-currency, so I'm just going to leave that blank. You do want to mark the box to tell it that it needs to be consolidated. And over here, we've got 100% consolidation. So we're going to just put 100% because we want to consolidate all of this company. The starting date and ending date, this is the time frame that you want to consolidate the particular company into the consolidation company. So this is nice if you know that maybe you're going to be selling a business off and it's going to only be a short period of time you're going to do a consolidation, or maybe you just want to do it on a yearly basis. You can control, however, the span of time that you want to do the consolidation for. And then these GL accounts down here are just for the consolidation purposes, should you need to be able to post anything with them. All right. I'm trying to move this little go-to meeting thing. It's in my way. Okay. So now that we've seen that and we have created the business unit, then what you would want to do is go to the actions and test the database. Now, what you're seeing here is when we test the database, basically it's looking for errors. So if my company I'm consolidating from has a GL account number that's not set up in my consolidation company, then it would give me a report that would show me, you know, those GL account numbers so that I would know, okay, I need to add those GL account numbers to my consolidation company. So any of your databases you're consolidating from, their chart of accounts can be different between the 2 or more databases, but within your consolidation company, your chart of accounts must contain all GL account numbers from all consolidating companies. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and test this to make sure I don't have any errors. So I'm going to hit send to. We'll just have it come show us the report in a PDF document, and I'm going to say OK. Now, what we want to see here is we want to see really a blank piece of paper. And that's what we got. So if there were errors, they would be listed on this piece of paper. So this right here is good news for us. So that is how we add our business units from our legal entities into the consolidation company, so that as we're doing transactions throughout the month, then we'll be able to consolidate them into this consolidation company. What I want to show you next is I'm going to show you how to set up intercompany. So I'm going to log over to my Kronus USA company, and I'm going to say OK. All right, and I'm just going to say OK. So now this is in Kronus USA, and from within here, I'm going to type in intercompany, and I'm going to go to the setup because we want to look at the setup. So the first thing you have to do when you're setting up the intercompany is you're going to set up an intercompany partner code. So the partner code is just so that you can have intercompany transactions done within the different databases. Now the key note here is you want this intercompany partner code, that's a mouthful, to be consistent between all of your databases. So it needs to be the same. And then you want to tell it that you want to auto send the transactions, because this is what will actually create the transaction to be sent over to the receiving company. So I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to do my intercompany partners. We're going to take a look at that. So here you have this one partner I've created, and we can just go in and look at that just so you can see what it looks like. There's my code. I give it a name. Again, if you're doing any type of multi-currency, you can select a currency code, and then we select the database that this is going to correspond with. And Then down here, we identify who the partners are. So you can do intercompany transactions for customers and vendors. So you just would come in here, add the customer number, add the receivables account that you want it to be posted to, and then you would do the same for your vendor. So once you have set that up, then you would set up your intercompany chart of accounts. Now this is where you're going to map between the companies so that the GL account numbers can know what GL account numbers they need to talk to when intercompany transactions are done. So this left-hand side you see here, this is the GL account number for the Kronus USA company that we are currently logged into. And this column you see on the right-hand side is the corresponding GL account numbers coming from Kronus North, because we have mapped to Kronus North. Now I did this today just for demo purposes so that we would already have it done, but basically in Kronus North, you would use this export button to export your chart of accounts out, and then you would log in here and import those chart of accounts in here. And then it has an auto map feature so that it would go out and find any identical GL account number it can find. Now if it can't find that match, you can simply come over here and do the match manually. So that is the chart of accounts. And then if you are using the intercompany dimensions, so if you're tracking departments, divisions, locations, in this particular company we've got customers and departments, then you would do the same mapping for your dimensions just like we did for our chart of accounts. So let's take a look at a transaction I have done in this company. I've done a sales order, and there's my C00010 customer, and this is their order that I've created in here. Now, I'll come in and I just fill out the sales order just like I would for any normal customer, but this one's going to that particular intercompany customer that I set up. Now I called it intercompany, but it could be, you know, whatever intercompany customer name that you're using. It could be ABC Sales. So down here, I'm paying a rent expense, and I need to be able to distribute that. I'm not paying it, but I'm doing an order for it. So I need to be able to distribute that against the intercompany. So I've got the $500. It's going to hit the 60,100 account. And once I get the whole order form filled out, then I can go to the Actions button, and I simply click the Send IC Sales Order, which means send the intercompany transaction to the existing company that I've done in my mapping in the intercompany setup. So now let's go take a look over in Kronus North so you can see how that looks within that destination company. All right, so I'm going to jump to the home screen on Kronus North. Now, when you first log into the company, this is the home screen that you're going to see. Mine happened to go to sales order because I was in sales order on the other company. But right here, you'll see on your home page, you have a little box and it says Intercompany. This is telling me that I've got 4 pending inbox transactions. Now, I've accepted 3 of these transactions, but here's that 4th one that I haven't done anything with. So I can very easily just highlight the transaction, and if I wanted to, I could tell it I'm going to accept it and bring it on in. I can also tell it I need to return it back to the intercompany partner. Maybe it shouldn't have gone to this particular company. So I do have control over the receiving, accepting, and returning functionality of the intercompany transactions. Do we have any questions at this time?
No, Lisa, I think you're explaining everything. No one has any questions.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to jump back over to my consolidation company because we're going to say it's month end now, and we have been doing transactions all throughout the period, and we need to be able to consolidate those transactions from my legal entities into my consolidation company. So let's see how that's done. So within the consolidation company, I'm going to go back to my little search magnifying glass, and I'm going to type in business unit because that's where I need to go. Now, when you are in and you would do this for each of your companies. I've done it for Kronus US and Kronus North. But in this company, when you're in here, what you basically do within each of your databases that you're importing into this company, you would log into them and export the file. I've already done that so that we could save some time for today. And then you would come into the consolidation company and select the company, and then you would tell it to import the file. So here we just set some criteria for the import itself. You would give it a document name, and you would hit OK. Then you would browse out to find that file that you had exported from that legal entity, and you would hit Open. And then it asks you if you want to consolidate that period. And I'm going to tell it yes. And so once that consolidation is done, you would go and do it to the next one. So it's best to go to each entity, export the data out, and then log into your consolidation company and go through each of your companies and import their data in. So now that I've imported my data in, let's go see how that looks at month end. So I'm going to come back to my search, and I'm going to look for account schedules. Again, many of you probably call these financial reports, but in Dynamics 365, they're called account schedules. So I'm going to go over here. Now, I have several different account schedules. These are all canned ones that come with the system, but by all means, they are modifiable. You can create different column layouts and different, row formats if you like. So I'm going to take a look at this income one, and I'm going to go to overview. So the beauty about having like a, let's say you've got one row format that you use, but you want to use it interchangeably between different column layouts because maybe you want to see your actuals, your budget, and the variance. Maybe you want to have a 12-month rolling. You can do different column layouts, and I'll show you how easy it is to change. So you would just click on the column, looking the ellipsis, and select the column layout you wanted for the report. I'm going to do net change. Over here, I'm going to change that period to correspond with the period we imported. And now once I tab off of that, you see I've got dollar amounts down here in the bottom. Now I'm looking for that 6100 account because I know that I posted some stuff to that utilities expense that was intercompany, and I want you to see how that looks when I drill down into that information. So now you can see here, it shows you the different companies that your data is coming from, and you would be able to say, oh, okay, that came from, Kronus North or Kronus US or whatever the case may be. So that is how easy it is to be able to consolidate these companies and drill down into the data to be able to see where all this data originated from and whose portion is what within your account schedules. So that is my demo for today, George. Do we have any questions on the board?
Still silent, so I think you must be doing a really good job.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa. We'll wrap things up then.
Okay.
So, as I promised, we'll spend a couple of minutes and talk about pricing and how to buy. And it's a real easy section, so this won't take long at all. There's basically two numbers you need to know, 40 and 5. $40 gets you a full user. It's a monthly cost, and it lets you do everything, read, write, update, you name it. Now, what's really interesting is the $5 a month team member user. They can read everything. They can edit a few things. They could submit purchase requisitions, quotes, timesheets, and update their personal information. And they can also participate in the workflow approval chains. These are all topics we'll cover in other webinars. Check our YouTube site or keep tuned because we haven't done the workflow one yet. Anyways, those financial statements that Lisa was just showing you, you can give people access through the web for that $5 user. So it's a really easy way to get the information to people that need it when they need it. Now, implementation fees. There's a lot of options here. Some people they want to roll up their sleeves and do it themselves, and we'll help you do that. We'll give you our basic training package. Depending on how many modules you want to set up or get trained on, that could be anywhere from a half day to a couple of days, or around $800 to $3,200. Now, the most common thing that we do is a basic implementation, and that's for setting up the financials for a single or maybe a multi-company, as long as they're pretty similar. That can be anywhere from 24, for one company to maybe 40 hours if we're going to help you set up multiple companies. So that's going to run about $5,000 to $8,000. Now, implementation, that includes things. We'll help you actually configure the modules. We'll sit down and interview you and help you understand how it needs to be set up. We'll help you with the data conversion. So there's a lot. We do a lot more doing on the basic and standard implementations. So the standard, though, basically what we add there is you're doing more than just financials. You might be doing distribution. You might be doing manufacturing jobs or whatnot. So, and those projects get larger accordingly. So as you can see, you can get started pretty cost effectively, but if you're a big complex enterprise, yeah, it's going to take more to set up. Now, in advanced implementation, that's where multi-location integrations with other systems, those can get up there. Anyways, how do you buy this? It's sold only through Microsoft partners, and you can contact us for the initial purchase. We can set you up with a free trial, like I just was talking about. We can help you with training, data conversion, ongoing support. We actually have some brand new support plan packages for a fixed price every month. It'll get you support. So a lot of people, I think those are going to be really popular. We just rolled those out this week, so they haven't made my PowerPoint yet. But you can check our website, www.interdyneartist.com, if you want to learn more about those. You can also email us at info@interdyneartist.com or call us, 704-846-6750. I appreciate everybody's time this afternoon, and I'll do one last question check. I think we're good. So Lisa, you have a great day. Everyone who attended, you have a great day.
Thanks, George.
And we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.